Pixar's Turning Red is unapologetically horny, and apparently it's not relatable to white people? What the hell is going on? Welcome to Movie World Plus, the place where we talk movies, plus streaming, plus whatever I want to talk about. I don't know what's wrong with my audio there. It didn't work, but I'm going to keep going anyway. I saw Pixar's Turning Red. And I'm going to review the film, but I'm also going to review the reviewers who review this film, because there's all this controversy over this movie, and I just don't get it. We'll get to the controversy in a second. Before I get to the controversy, I'm going to give you my review. Look, this is, I think, a really daring and adorable, well-made Pixar film. Where this film is going to differ for a lot of people is that it definitely has more of a female focus. It does, in that it's focusing on a young girl in middle school going through puberty. Unlike Inside Out, which I guess isn't about necessarily the hormones, it's about the mind and maturing. This one really is about adolescence, about puberty, and definitely leans more towards girls. However, look, I watched this with my whole family, my daughter, my son. We all were laughing, and we were all having fun, and we were all finding moments to relate to. And I gotta say, I give Disney and Pixar props for normalizing and having the guts to have a conversation and talk about sort of the things girls go through at this age. Now, that's going to rub some parents off. It definitely is. As reviewers have come in, this one always bugged me. This reviewer, Courtney Howard, gotten a lot of hate because she said, hilarious, heartfelt, and unapologetically horny, sentimental story about parental problems, puberty, and pandas that's endearingly oddball and off-kilter in the best way. Good world building and teen bop. Sandra Oh and newcomer Rosalie Chiang are splendid. She's spot on in this review. But a lot of people were making YouTube videos and going after her, thinking she was a furry, and how dare you get turned on by this movie. No, the reality is this movie is about middle schoolers, and they're starting to deal with hormones. The film does have some horny elements, like in that regard, and the character is figuring out how to deal with that. There's a boy band in the film, and they have to, she's realizing she sort of is attracted to them. It's never something that I felt like was uncomfortable in a way that I'm like, whoa, this shouldn't be there. I mean, it's stuff that viewers of that age are going to be facing. And I think it's nice for Pixar to have made a film that can sort of, oh yeah. There's a moment in the film, it's a really funny moment in the film, and we all, boys, girls, we all still related to it. But there's this moment, apparently this moment in the film was inspired by the filmmaker behind it. The filmmaker who made this film made a really good short. I pulled up a still. Do I have it here? It's a short my family loves. It's called Bow. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm probably saying that awfully. But if you haven't seen Bow, I highly encourage you do. It's on Disney Plus. It's this one. It's about the dumpling. It's such an adorable short. As a parent, I connect to it. I don't make or eat dumplings. It's definitely, there's some cultural stuff to it, but it's still very relatable in a parental way. And I feel like this one is too. And there's this moment in the film right here where the mom is a control freak with her daughter. They're really tight. They're really connected. And the mom's like insanely connected to a place where it's like, dude, you got to let this girl do some of her own. The mom's almost the villain at times in the film, but obviously it's her mom. So it's you still feel for her. But there's a moment where she shows up at her poor school, and it's so bad that security has to kick her out. And the filmmaker behind the movie was like, this actually happened to me in real life. And then at the end of the scene, she's like, don't forget, you forgot your pads. And then there's a shot of maxi pads. And that's the movie. It's the movie because is that going to make some men or some people or parents uncomfortable that all kids and people grow up and mature and go through puberty? It's gonna, yeah. Does that mean we shouldn't have a well-told, respectful Disney approach in doing so and normalizing the fact that, yeah, that's what women and young girls have to go through? I do applaud it for that, but you got to know that's where some of these people maybe off on this movie are going to be coming from. Of like, oh, how dare they put a maxi pad in this Disney movie? Oh, you're going to get a lot of that, and that didn't bother me. I could see how it would bother some, in that yes, there's a lot of it of the oh my god, these boys so cute. So be prepared. That's the only thing I will warn you of. But I think it's stuff we got to talk about at some point. And I think anybody younger, it's just going to go over their head. They're not even understand what they're really looking at in a way. So overall, I like the film. But she's our main star. I forget her name already. Sorry, I meant to have it up. She's our main star. What happens is she realizes when she gets emotional, she turns into a red panda. Turns out this is a family curse, and she's got to keep her emotions in check. Otherwise, the red panda, will come out. How will she deal with that? That's the film in a nutshell. Look, it's not my favorite Pixar movie, I'll be honest. But I thought it was really well done. It's cute. I could see that it's, it's... I don't want to say it's not relatable. I related to a lot in this movie. In fact, let me go there. I guess this was the reviewer of... this guy, Sean O'Connor, got a lot of hate. White film critics says Turning Red's not for him, and people have thoughts. And honestly, I think they had some valid thoughts, as this was a big deal. This is terrible criticism. Writing about art requires empathy. This wasn't made for me as a starting point, not the point. And this is what he said. Some Pixar films are made for a universal audience. Turning Red is not. The target audience for this one feels very specific and very narrow. If you are in it, this might feel well. If you're not, it's exhausting. And then he goes in the article to speak more in depth about how it may be, help members of Meilin, that's her name, Toronto's Asian community, but the target audience feels very specific and narrow. And then he just goes on to talk about how it's just, because it's a Canadian Asian audience, he couldn't connect to it. Dude, Sean, you got owned. Now, should you be canceled? No. But can people call you out for that completely ignorant, awful take? Yes, they can, and they did. And Sean has now he's really gotten caught out. Now even the cast has come out, sparking the outrage of this. Cinema Blend, where the article was posted, had to pull it. And what's really interesting, throughout the film, Turning Red and her co-star jokes references will speak directly to teenage girls, be it their bonds over sappy pop songs or their heated lust for older teen dudes. Without question, Turning Red is the horniest movie in Pixar history. By rooting Turning Red very specifically in the Asian community of Toronto, the film legitimately feels like it was made for Domee Shi's friends and immediate family members, which is fine, but also a tad limiting in its scope. Dude, bad review, man. I didn't feel that way at all. You're almost like, this is too Asian for me. I couldn't connect to these Asian characters, so I just rolled my eyes a lot and was like, is this movie almost over? That's sort of how I get what he's saying. Dude, it's ignorant. That is ignorant. And he got corrected. Cinema Blend had to pull the article, which they did. But what's really interesting is he's the managing director, guys. This idea that, he failed to properly edit this review. No. Sean O'Connell has a big part of Cinema Blend, and they got caught. And so he definitely got caught. I would show you directly, but this guy's already blocked me because I guess I'm the trouble one, Sean. I'm trouble because I fought back when he was out there railing for the Snyder Cut. He's the one who was writing the book for Zach, exploiting the fandom, and eventually the fandom turned on him because he wanted to write the book. I don't like this guy. You got Sean, well deserved. Don't want to cancel you. Good luck. Get back up on your feet. As we say here, get back up. I support everybody getting back up. You can buy the merch on the store, but couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. And then to add to that, this other review where bounding into comics, which yes, I've come to realize they're just poop stirrers. This site's garbage. All they're doing is out creating rage for clicks. It's awful. Videos are made based on their bad reporting, and there's most often than not, there's no outrage to actually have. Yeah, this is a true statement. Now, you can be annoyed by a parent that they're dealing with hormones and puberty, sure, but the fact that they were trying to make this person seem like some sex-crazed weirdo, Courtney Howard, send all the positivity your way because that was ugly and awful and really misguided. And this movie is interesting because it shows the mob on both sides. It shows that both sides of the political coin can be mob-inducing a-holes. You got the overly sensitive people who are trying to cancel him because he said something ignorant instead of trying to educate him civilly. No, we got to destroy him. And then you have the other side who's like, how dare you say it's horrible. Oh my God, this woman's awful. We must cancel her. You can't win either way on the internet. And Turning Red weirdly got to show us all those sides. But at the end of the day, I do have to say, getting back to my review of the film, yeah, I thought it was cute. I thought it was a very cute movie. It's really well animated. There's some really fun sequences in the film. It's a good movie that's now available on Disney+. And overall, at the end of the day, this movie's about friendship. It's about friendship and growing up. and dealing with those growing pains that all kids that we go through and that all of us have been through. And obviously, a lot of symbolism here with the red panda and the girl going through puberty and emotions and all this stuff. I think this is important stuff to talk about. So overall, I like this movie. Is it my favorite of the bunch? No, it's nowhere near as good as Inside Out. To me, that one's like next level. There's other better ones, but I think I did like this better than Onward. Or I can't even remember some of the more recent ones they've done. Soul, this is probably a little bit more fun than Soul. But overall, I think a fair movie. Bummer they put it on Disney Plus, but I think part of this controversy and everything else may have been part of the reason, maybe. It does seem like they were feeling less into it. At the same time, I don't know, I think they really need big tentpoles on Disney Plus because that's where they're investing all this fortune. So I know a lot of Pixar employees are very upset at the fact that these films aren't getting theatrical releases when all the original Disney movies like Encanto did. But Encanto proved to be a huge smash, huge blockbuster and soundtrack, etc. I don't know what you take on all that. But anyway, at the end of the day, Turning Red, I like it. Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You can watch Turning Red right now on Disney Plus with your family if you like. Let me know if you do. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching Movie World Plus. I'll be out of vacation this week. Wanted to throw one other review this one up before I did. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more here on Movie World Plus.